Welcome to the January 11th, 2024 Planning Commission hearing. I'd like to first off welcome our new commissioner, Brian Barnwell, which was appointed by the City Council in December, along with reappointment of Commissioner DeLucio, also by the City Council in December. So welcome, both of you. Mrs. Johnson, can we have a roll call?
Thank you, Commissioner Bauke. I'll start with the roll call. Commissioner Barnwell. Here. Commissioner Bauke.
Here.
Commissioner Boss.
Present.
Commissioner DeLucio.
Here.
Commissioner Lodge.
Here.
Commissioner Wardlow.
Here.
And Commissioner Wiscombe is absent. We have a quorum. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next, we'll have the preliminary matters. Ms. Arciniega, do we have any continuances, withdrawals, postponements, or additions, or ex-agenda items at this time?
Thank you, Chair Bauke. No, we don't have any continuances. We do have an announcement that we'll have a training next week at the January 18th hearing, and then the following hearing potentially might be canceled. Stay tuned for that. We don't have any projects on currently.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any announcements or appeals?
There's the appeal at 710 State Street, the hotel, that will be going to council on January 23rd. It's Kelly Burdison's project, and Leslie is the PC representative at that appeal.
Okay, thank you. Next, do we have any review, considerations, actions for the following draft Planning Commission minutes and resolutions? We have two items. One is the December 14th, 2023 minutes. Are there any commissioners' comments of the minutes of December 14th?
I'll move those minutes.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, could we have a roll call vote, please?
I'll take roll call vote. Commissioner Barnwell. All right, Commissioner Boss.
Yes.
Commissioner DeLucio.
Yes.
Commissioner Lodge.
Yes.
Commissioner Wardlow.
Yes.
Chair Bauke.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson. Now we have, next is the Planning Commission Resolution number 014-23 for 101 Santa Cruz. I'd like to open it up to my fellow commissioners. Anybody have any comments on the resolution? Hearing none, are there any public speakers or commenters? Hearing none. Do we have a motion on the draft resolution?
So moved for its
Second.
approval.
Ms. Johnson, can we have a roll call?
Thank you, Chair Bauke. I'll take roll call. Commissioner Barnwell.
Abstain.
Commissioner DeLucio.
Yes.
Commissioner Lodge.
Yes.
Commissioner Wardlow.
Yes.
Commissioner Boss.
Yes.
Chair Bauke.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, moving on. Our next item is public comments pertaining to items not on the agenda. If there's anybody in the audience, please come forward. Do we have anybody in the audience who would like to speak?
Thank you, Chair Bauke. At this time, I don't have any speaker slips, but if you do wish to speak on an item not on today's agenda, you can fill out a speaker slip at the back of the room. Well, as she's filling out her speaker slip, I'll go ahead and move to virtual public comment. If you wish to speak on Zoom at this time, you can raise your hand and I'll call on you. Not seeing any hands raised, but we did receive one letter from Strongtown, Santa Barbara. And if you want to speak, you can fill out your speaker slip afterwards. So you can come up and speak, and then you can give me the speaker slip after. Of course, and you'll have 3 minutes to speak.
Good morning, first of all. My name is Guidance Moon. I'm a local business owner and chef. Never really attended one of these before. I just saw on the internet that y'all were having this meeting. I've been going back and forth with Mr. Rich Hanna and Michelle McDonald over at the Westside Neighborhood Community Center. I am attempting to start a micro business in that location, delivering soul food to the local area via Grubhub, DoorDash, and Uber Eats. The conversation that I've had with Mr. Hanna most recently is that they are having trouble approving my permit through the health department to utilize that kitchen due to some type of zoning issue that does not allow those type of sales or operations. To be completely honest, I'm really not sure. I'm only here today because for the last 5 months, I have gone back and forth with the city recreation in an attempt to utilize a commercial kitchen. And the last thing I've heard so far is that this committee may have some sort of oversight or say-so on what goes on. So just bringing it to your attention, making myself known and what my goals are. As a person of color in Santa Barbara, I've only lived here a year and a half, and it has been hell. We don't have the support, we don't have the diversity, and we don't have a voice. And I'm here to change that today. I deserve to use that kitchen just like any other caterer. The business operations that I'm attempting to do are no different than any caterer or other business in 2024. Los Angeles has community kitchens that are utilized in this way. All of America does. And I believe it's time for Santa Barbara to catch up, especially when we have a culinary school here that I attend, and we have artists leaving that school and leaving Santa Barbara just to create food. So if this committee is open to it, I want to discuss making changes that will allow artists like me to create in Santa Barbara. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Do we have any other comments?
That's all the speaker slips we have at this time, so I'll turn it back over to you, Chair Bauke.
Okay. I will at this time close public comments and move on to the administrative agenda. The next topic on our agenda is the nominations and elections of our chair and vice chair. And that's the appointment section of the calendar. I'd like to open the floor to nominations of the chair now, and would anybody like to make a nomination? I would. Okay.
I would. I nominate our vice chair, elevate him, John Balke, to chair.
Okay, thank you for that.
I'll second that.
Is there any other nominations? Okay, and that's it. With that, let's move on to appointment of a vice chair. Can we take nominations for the vice chair?
I'll nominate Commissioner Wardlow.
And I'll second that.
Do we have any other nominations? Hearing none, could I have a motion that would bring forward both the chair and vice chair for a vote?
Need another, I'll make a motion for that.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. So we have a motion on the table to approve a new chair and vice chair. May I have a roll call vote? Ms. Johnson?
Thank you, Chair Bauke. I'll take roll call vote. Commissioner Barnwell,
Yes.
Commissioner Lodge,
Yes.
Commissioner Wardlow,
Yes.
Commissioner Boss,
Yes.
Commissioner DeLucia,
Yes.
Commissioner Bauke.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, thank you. Moving on is the appointments of Planning Commission liaisons. I have asked the staff to put up a slide that I prepared. Could you? And I also handed that out. So what I did is took the 2023 list, and what we had before us were three different positions in which Chair Bonderson had, which are now vacant. One was the Architectural Review Board, the other was the State Street Committee, and the other was Transportation and Circulation. Knowing most of the commissioners are happy with what they have had and continue to want to be in those positions, I did get a request from two commissioners for elevations of their positions on particular committees, so I've put those on this chart. So I'm putting this out there for discussion. If anybody has any other ideas, I don't hear any. So could I have a motion to approve the slate that's presented?
I'll make a motion to approve the slate as presented.
I'll second that.
We have
Second.
With a second, we have a second from DeLucio?
I'll second
Okay.
it.
So with the motion, we need a roll call vote.
Thank you, Chair Balke. I'll take roll call vote. Commissioner Wardlow,
Yes.
Commissioner Barnwell,
Yes.
Commissioner Boss,
Yes.
Commissioner DeLucio,
Yes.
Commissioner Lodge,
Yes.
Chair Balke.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, moving on to that, we have the committee and liaison reports. Next on our agenda, staff hearing officer liaison report by Commissioner Boss would be next.
Yes, thank you, Chair. I do have a report during the November 29th meeting, 138 Powers, an industrial condominium project, was before the staffing hearing officer for discretionary applications for CDP and parking modification. And at the time, there were concerns from the Condo Association Board. So it was continued to December 13th. And in that timeframe, the concerns were addressed, and there were more informed neighbors, and the association board actually offered a letter of support. So if you'd watched the earlier meeting, that's the conclusion of that project and that report.
Okay, do you have any other committees that you are reporting on today?
I do. The Downtown Parking Committee, which met this morning. If you completed the downtown parking survey, thank you. And the survey results were published and reviewed and presented during this morning's Downtown Parking Committee meeting. So if those are of interest to you, you can check them out. There was also discussion about private lots and zoning, and Ms. Arciniega was kind enough to look into that a bit, so that may go to downtown parking and come to us at some point for further discussion. And there was also comment because of the decreased use of the downtown parking lots. The comment from staff and the committee was that in downtown, they have parking available for plenty of housing downtown. Thank you.
Okay, good to hear. So do any other commissioners have committee reports they'd like to give at this time?
I have an HLC report.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay. I'm sure that comment on parking made you happy, Commissioner Boss. Actually, there was a meeting yesterday on January 10th. They had a preconceptual review on 328 West Montecito Street, the corner of Montecito and Castillo Street. It's a proposal for a 9-unit hotel. It's on a vacant lot. The hotel is proposed to be an annex to the approved hotel at 302 and 308 West Montecito Street. That, I went over there, I'll make a disclosure, and in that project, the 302 and 308 West Montecito Street, the hotel has not yet been built. But the project right now they looked at was 328 West Montecito Street, which would be, they're calling it an annex to that approved hotel. And the HLC was generally in favor of the design and neighborhood findings of I can't say that word right now, whatever, and they recommend sending it to the Planning Commission for Development Plan.
Okay, thank you. Is there any other committee reports?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
a procedural question. The lady who spoke to us, is there a way that we move forward her concerns, or do we just let that lie? How is that done? Does it get on the agenda? Do we pass it? I know that health inspections are done by the county, not by the city, but how do we, or do we, address that?
Ms. Arciniega, would you?
Chair Balke and Commissioner Brownwell, I can look into that. I'm actually in conversations right now with Rich Hanna at Parks and Rec regarding the same issue, and working with city planner Allison DeBusk on it as well. So if that addresses your concern, as far as changes for future, that's a different conversation, as she mentioned, of looking at, ordinance allowances. Currently, the West Side Community Center, it's zoned Parks and Rec, PR zone, and there are certain allowances. There's still research on our end to understand what the current permitted allowances are, and if they're consistent with the proposal that's being requested.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Barnwell, for asking that question. Is there any more comments, questions? I have one, just announcement for the public. The commission received from staff a notice of a training opportunity. You know, we all know that making a development pencil is something we've heard many times before us, and there is a webinar on Wednesday, the 16th, that's available for anybody in the general public by the Turner Center for Housing Innovation out of the School of UC Berkeley, that's available for the public. They also made a new publication, an updated publication of a document called Making It Pencil and the Math Beyond Housing Development. And it's their 2023 update. And at a cursory view, it would be very, very helpful for people to understand sort of the base. It's pretty much the basics of what's involved with penciling development. There's a lot more complexity beyond what's in the report, but it would be a good thing for everybody, the commissioners themselves and the public, to educate themselves to the extent feasible. So I'm putting that out there for everybody to know about. So do I hear any other announcements? Okay, so with that, I would adjourn today's meeting at 1:21. That concludes our January 11th, 2024 Planning Commission hearing. Our next meeting is tentatively scheduled for next Thursday, January 18th, 2024. Thank you all, and have a nice day.